We're going to see a professional one day.
We're not. Let's be honest. We will not be super professional, but more professional.
Yeah.
We're back. New studio. We'll get this fixed up, but we got a couch in the office. We're rearranging and stuff, so that's exciting. So we're going to start recording in here. Won't have to deal with the loud music as much.
This is my big initiative for like the next week, is getting our office much more functional working space for us. So
throwing things away.
I'm really proud. I'm known for not being good at purging items, so people are really proud of me right now.
But, I've been filling up the dumpster, so yeah.
So get familiar. This is where we're going to be doing filming of our podcast. We're in the office right now, a nice AC space. So.
Yes, the best part. It's summer.
Yeah.
It's summer, so we need that. We can probably fit a guest on the couch too. Scoot over a little bit. We'll fit everybody on here one day. So, yeah. Today, Talk Fit, we are going to talk about how CrossFit is dangerous or not. So we're going to dive into that, talk about how and why we started. We talked about that a little bit. I feel like it's good to keep talking about it, but they're not as much now, I think, thankfully, that there's not so much a stigma about CrossFit being dangerous, but I know when I started, there definitely was. I know it's talked about a little bit more when we started as well. So let's dive into what we know and what we've learned and where we're going.
When somebody first joins gym, what are the two kind of main things? Like I said, it's evolved. Two big concerns. One of them is ladies don't want to be bulky.
No, God. Yeah, I cannot tell you how many times I read that in messages or hear that. Yes, yeah.
And the second one is, where's the beginner group? Because I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get hurt because of what they've heard on, media, social media, or, word of mouth.
Yes.
That's the big thing. So,
I don't know how to sit yet. This is a new.
I know. What do you do with your hands?
Am I in frame? Sorry, not to throw off what we're doing.
I know. So that's something we want to address as concerns with that. So me going back. CrossFit. What I first heard of CrossFit, when I learned about these workouts people are doing, I heard mainly of military first responders doing CrossFit. Like it was actually tailored for them to make them much more effective at their jobs. Pulling people out of burning buildings, being able to cover large distances with loads because they're going on rucks with their equipment, their weapons, all that. So this was the most effective workout methodology that was out there that was tailored for that type of person. So my husband was a firefighter at the time. He learned about CrossFit before I did. I heard tidbits of what it was. I heard it was really, really difficult. I was doing P90X in our living room when he first started doing CrossFit.
By the way, mind you.
No, but I brought this up, I think, on our first podcast, my origin story. These were hour-long DVDs. My husband was in and out of the garage in 20 minutes. And I'm like, what? There's no way. There's no way. Yeah, you got an amazing workout, and you're sweaty. You did something. I don't know what you did, but that's kind of what piqued my interest. I started it, and that's when I started to hear and learn about what these workouts involved. And when I was getting into coaching, like what you heard was the Forging Elite Fitness, and it would just carry on that messaging. Like this is you want to be the most fit individual. This is who you need to be around. These are the workouts you need to do. Right. So what did you first learn about?
Sorry, I looked at my shirt because I was like, I almost put on my level 1 shirt that says Forging Elite Fitness today, but I didn't. It's a Grand Mesa shirt today. Yeah, when I started, we started in 2018. So CrossFit had been around quite a while at that point. Had heard of it, and the stigma was that it was dangerous. That's where you go to get injured. Ariel was in PT school, so at the time, like when I even brought it up, there was like hesitation there because like she's studying about how to keep the body healthy, and like here's this thing that like, well, that's where you go to get injured, and like that's the thing. Like PT sometimes will be like, oh, I love CrossFit. They keep me in business.
Yeah.
And so that was like how we started. But Ariel and I both, and we talked about this in our origin story, like. We know our bodies. We did sports growing up, and so we're like, well, we're smart.
Yeah.
Like we know like what we can do and what we shouldn't do, and if we feel like it's dangerous or like we don't like how risky it is, we'll just not do it. Let's go try that free week and see. And I mean, obviously, I'm so glad that I did try it out. But if danger was something that kept us from it, like, don't do that. Like, don't worry about it. But yeah, so it definitely was a stigma at the time because there was a study done by the National Strength and Conditioning Association that turned out to be falsified, that they showed that a large percentage of the people in their study had to stop training CrossFit style because of injury, and that wasn't true. It turns out there was only 2 of the people in the study. CrossFit sued NSCA, and then NSCA sued CrossFit for defamation, and CrossFit ended up winning. They sided with CrossFit to show that that was not a true study and that the defamation did not happen. It actually was the other way around. So that's kind of where that stigma, I think, came from, was that study being done and published in an official journal, and all of that. And so
and the funny thing is, like I said, when I got started, the whole Forging Elite Fitness and actually was like very unapologetic about it. We had a T-shirt when this was the CrossFit Leander location. I loved it. So it had the CrossFit Leander logo on the back. Stronger people are harder to kill than weak people, and are more useful in general. Like that was who we were, you know. And we flew that flag pretty proudly. So I would say the stigma wasn't there, but it was very clear on who they were trying to market to bring into these 4 walls, you know, this type of gym. And so I would say, you said 2013, 2014 is when that came out. And so
I know that lawsuits happened around then. I don't know if it was officially published. But.
And, and they, realized it was falsified. We ended up winning a lot of money in that defamation suit. Not we personally, but HQ. I didn't see
benefit from that, no.
But the unfortunate part of it is damage was done.
It was done.
And the credibility of what it is that we did here, no matter the lives that we changed, the people, the touches that we had, the impact, the damage was done, because once there was smoke, there's fire, and like it just started to spread. And I believe CrossFit kind of started to do it's a reassessing on how they were marketing, right? So right around that time, Glassman started to do more marketing with, you saw the elderly people on the couch and lifting jugs and, the living room set.
Really saw that in 2020, big time.
It was like, no, this is accessible for everybody, which it is. I will say me personally, I say this all the time. CrossFit is beneficial for everybody.
Every single person.
But it's not for everybody. Then there's some certain criteria for that. There's some qualifying factors for that. But like I said, the marketing changed a little bit to where it kind of it softened the message quite a bit to say, this is you can do this and blah blah blah. And I agree with it, but at the same time, I don't want to present like rose-colored glasses for what it is that we're trying to accomplish here. And very, very transparent with people when they are new to our gym. This may be the hardest thing that you will ever do in your life, especially if you are from the couch. You've never taken part or prescribed to any type of work or methodology at all. You're going to test yourself. It's very evident now, and unfortunate. Like we have like young teens and people that have come in, and this is the extent of their exertion throughout the day. So it's something we're trying to do. We're trying to overcome that.
We do hard things in these 4 walls.
100%.
100%.
So it used to be the case, like every single website, if you were a CrossFit affiliate, had the banner there. We had the CrossFit Journal, the Forging Elite Fitness, all those links, and it's not really a requirement anymore. Which I wish the CrossFit Journal was a requirement on everybody's website. There's a whole lot of good information on there. Most of it very, very relevant. So some stuff that, when we're studying for level 3, that's
dated,
like, yeah. But still
relative
useful.
Useful is probably more. And I think the Forging Elite Fitness, like that word elite kind of scares people. Like, you look out in our gym, you see some people that you're like, oh, they're an elite athlete, but like it's not about that part of it. It's building the fitness that is elite. That we are harder to kill and more useful in general.
Yeah. More formidable humans, right? That was one of my favorite things that we will preach. When you come to our noon class, like the quality of life of people that are in their, like their golden years. I don't know how to refer to them, but
our masters athletes.
Right? Probably retired already in whatever their chosen career was in life, but can easily get up off the ground by themselves without the assistance. They will be self-sufficient so much longer. They're not just going to live longer, they're going to live self-sufficient so much longer because they are still pushing thresholds and still worrying about building strength. So, let's fast forward a little bit now. In the past 5 to 7 years, we've seen some spinoffs, and there was people that took, opportunities because of a black eye that CrossFit had. Yes, that is dangerous. Come work out with us, and we can do the functional movements you talk about, but they will kind of separate the high intensity part of it, which we to this day we pride ourselves on keeping that aspect on the workout. So I'll let you.
So CrossFit methodology, right? We'll try to stay very surface level. Having just studied for our level 3, a lot of that information's here. So sometimes we might babble and fast forward if you need to. But the methodology, CrossFit is performing functional movement at high intensity, and it's constantly varied. That's not the order, but that's what we do. And so people took that methodology and are drop that high intensity off because they're well, the high intensity part, that's where it's dangerous. If we're doing functional things, then we can still get the benefits of this CrossFit thing. And then some people kept the intensity and kept the functional and dropped the constantly varied, and you do the same thing over and over again, and then even drop the varied and intensity and just have that functional movement into kind of functional bodybuilding where we're doing that over and over. And so
we're this isn't bad. If your priority is the aesthetics, cool. We all have a different why. There's nothing wrong with that.
We love fitness. We want people to move. So if we're ever talking about another type of fitness, we're not hating on it and don't do that. We're just talking about the differences because we have chosen CrossFit as what we do and care about, and firmly believe that it is the best way to stay sustainable for long-term life, health, and fitness. The other things are good if that's what you're into, right? Great. We'd rather you be moving than doing nothing. Right. So please don't hear us say anything is wrong, except there might be a couple of things that are wrong.
I know.
I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, it's different. It's something else. But for fitness itself, we believe that CrossFit, all 3 aspects of that methodology are what's important to help us drive that fitness.
Right. So different get deviations from it. Let's bring it back to how we approach what we present to our entire membership here. So if somebody is brand new to CrossFit, we will get asked first, I'm just now getting started with this. Now, obviously they have their reservations, they have concerns. How often should I be coming to your gym to your workouts? I say, you're straight from the couch, just very generalized. Okay, well, 3 times a week is not bad. Not a bad place to start. That simply because we're trying to get the routine going. This is something probably brand new. Make this date with yourself. Get that schedule going. But truly, if a CrossFit gym is very thoughtful in their programming and very inclusive of all modalities, and without getting too high level with it again, is your heart rate is getting spiked some days, and some days you're very not taxing. You're
zone
not,
2, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Zone 2
if
workouts.
If a gym is very responsible in their programming, you're getting just as much weightlifting as you're getting gymnastic, as you're getting monostructural, the running, the rowing, jump ropes. If we had a pool, you'd be getting swimming in here too. So
if you want to donate a pool,
right? And that's the hard part as well. If I'm gonna come only on a Tuesday, Thursday, and a disclaimer with our gym, we only provide unlimited memberships because we want to see you every day, and our programming accommodates for that. Some days you are doing some sprint work, some days slow and controlled, some days you're lifting heavy, some day you're doing volume. We try to be as varied as, well, not random, but as varied as we can as our programming to make you a much more fit individual at the end of whatever cycle that we're focused on. With that, with I mentioned before, it's for everybody, but there are the little stipulations with it. You have to be coachable too, right? there, the thoughtfulness that goes into the programming, there's some accountability with it as well. You have to be able to take, I don't want to say criticism, but cues to modify correct movements to put you in correct positions. Yes, we do want to see the high intensity, but we want to see you doing it correctly and mechanically. You may have come in, say you're not off the couch, say you were a high-level athlete in a respective sport that you've been on, and that's kind of tough too, because we have to have those different conversations. We need to, and we found this with people who were coming in from like the CG background. With that, they know go, 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 go. They want to go as fast as they can. So oftentimes we have to have a different conversation like, hey, let's slow it down. And believe me, we're going to slow it down and then you can speed it back up. We have to correct those movements so that you're safe, and this is a much more effective lift for you. And then we can start bringing that speed back. And there's nothing wrong with the speed. It just has to be done in a responsible way with the oversight, right?
Well, and that's why that's one big thing that sets CrossFit apart from a lot of different training methods and places you can go. We have coaches. We don't have timekeepers. We don't have babysitters, if you will. If you go some places, I've been places where there's somebody on the floor, they really just start the clock. We pride ourselves on our coaches are walking around giving cues. They're not just saying 3, 2, 1, go, and then saying, hey, great job at the end of class. If that's happening, let us know. We need to talk to our coaches, but I know that it's not, because we do evaluations. We care about how well our coaches are coaching, and that's what sets us apart. They're walking around, they're looking for safe movement. They're looking for the standards, full depth on the squat, standing up all the way down on those push-ups. And we don't do that to be nitpicky and like slow you down. We do that because our bodies are meant to do everything. And if we're stopping on the push-ups, we're only building that part of that push. Later in life, when we need to get off of the ground and push up, we're only going to have it built, that top half. We're going to struggle getting up, and that's what we want. Same thing with squatting. Like, we're sitting down right now. Squatting is standing up, right? If anybody ever tells you, like, don't squat, it's not safe, ask them to stand up and then sit back down, because that's what squatting is. It changes as we grow older, but, like, we may not need to do it with a bunch of weight, but we need to be able to stand up from the toilet, from the couch, from chairs, without having to, like, roll around and have someone help us. And so that's what a big thing that sets us apart as CrossFit is, like, we are coaching. We are not just timekeepers. We are not just telling you what the next thing is, but we're actively involved in you personally and, like, helping you get better and move efficiently and safe. So,
and with that is the encouragement to, yes, we are pushing thresholds, but we are also encouraging you to modify and scale. And we brought this up in other podcasts, safely, effectively, because you're not the same person every single day as you walk through that door.
Absolutely not.
We follow Mayhem programming here, and for us, we enjoy the Mayhem program because it's very classic CrossFit in their workouts. They're not reinventing the wheel, and it's, like I said, it's accommodating because there's 3 different presentations of it, but it's mainly because we're meeting you where you're at to be able to push the threshold of where you're at. The coaches on each class beginning will present, okay, this is the workout is written because our collegiate higher level athletes are people that have been doing this for a while. We need to challenge these people. There's the intermediate people who have also been here for a little bit, and actually most people just enjoy being, they're still pushing the intensity piece, but it's throttled back a little bit, maybe weight wise, and maybe not as high as level of gymnastic movements, but they're still pushing the thresholds where they're at. Then we have the Liberty, where
that's for our people just getting started, or maybe have taken a break, been away for 3 weeks, and
I've done Liberty before.
All the time.
I love it.
If I'm not feeling up to 100% today, I'll look at that Liberty option, and be like, I can find that intensity, I can get that workout in that feels good, and not put myself at risk for injury. And with Josh and
Coach Muller, if you haven't met Muller yet, both of them are very thoughtful. Also, hey, this is what was presented to us to program, and they take liberties to go ahead. Hey, maybe let's remove this piece so we can spend a little more time coaching here. Coaches are having this focus right now. I want to be able to be effective and take a little bit more time for a little bit more care and presentation of that point. Or Metcon is written for this duration. Maybe let's make that adjustment so that.
Or we're gonna have a bunch of equipment on the floor, and the safety aspect also includes that. Like if we're dropping barbells, like, and you're doing a burpee right next to me, that's an issue. So we'll adjust things for that too, to make sure that it's safe space-wise for our classes that are a little bit larger.
It's still varied, just not random. There's a whole lot of thought that goes into what's sent out to our members.
Look at the week and all that good stuff.
Yeah, there's a good amount of volume for the day. We will present so many different options. Like maybe let's take back the number that you're presented for that day, or let's modify that with a different movement so that you're not, the goal is not, granted, there's the risk versus reward. We're breaking, there's no way around it. We're breaking muscle to build muscle.
That's how it works. That's literally how, muscle breakdown. Soreness is your muscle, micro tears in the muscle. And then that's why we drink and eat protein so that we can rebuild building blocks. But yes.
And the goal is not to have you limping every single day.
Man. Yeah. You're doing something wrong.
Exactly. If that's your life, like, let us know. So like with the program as well, there's a messaging the coaches bring us as far as like proactive versus reactive recovery. Every class starts with a very general warm up to get people moving, get the blood flowing. You notice this with certain classes, especially when you see the demographic is usually older athletes. They will get here about a half hour before. This is them being very responsible, being very self-aware, and they know it takes a little bit more time to get warmed up and get some activation going.
I didn't think the 4:30 p.m. class was that old.
No, I know.
They're here at 4 o'clock. Unofficially, 4 o'clock stretching hour begins for warm up.
I need to take that good example of just move around a little bit. So I've been coming at your class at 6:30 in the morning, which is a little bit different.
It's a little harder to get up a little earlier to get there for,
Man, like I was it this week that had like that box jump. I used to slap myself like, wake up. You're ready to do this. Yeah. Example of proactive recovery is getting here early. Also, those last 5 minutes of class, you're taken through a cool down. We're trying to get you back to baseline, right? Get you safe, get you a little bit more recovered, so you're not like still very elevated in your heart rate and trying to make your way home. It's not what we're trying to do. We have the kind of reactive stuff happens. Yeah. My early days of CrossFit, I had a silly injury where we did death by 10 meters. My body went one way, my ankle went the other way. Okay. It was not paying attention. I've gotten a lot smarter on how I do my shuttle sprints now. We have resources within the area. Back then, everybody went to Rossi. We also have Jim, who's here within our four walls. And, it's high volume movement. Sometimes you do feel a little bit of, I'm limited on range of motion. There's a hip issue right now. We have different resources to address that. Again, risk versus reward. Very rewarding what we do here, but it's not without some type of risk.
Yes,
and we'll be very transparent about that.
CrossFit is not 100% safe.
No,
nothing is 100% safe. If it was, it wouldn't be effective.
Right.
It's a quote from somebody. I'm sure. I feel like Glassman said it. I'll look it up and put it in the little notes after so I'm not plagiarizing. But like, you cannot be 100% safe and 100% effective. You would be 100% ineffective and inefficient. Which brings us to like, how do we evaluate these programs that are out there? What do we have? We have efficacy, efficiency, and then safety. Those three big things help us decide that CrossFit is effective, or gives us those gains, that we push those adaptations. Safety, obviously, keeping it safe. The injury rates and things are what we look at there. I'll dive into that in a second. Efficacy is the ability to produce results. We see that, right? That's why we track what we track. We see our weights going up on the squats, on bench, on snatch, on
We brought that up earlier with the functional bodybuilding, right? The chasing aesthetics. It's not the main priority for people that are within these four walls. It's a byproduct.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It happens, but and if your focus is to gain that muscle, great. We can make that happen. It's going to be a byproduct. It's going to be a lot more nutrition than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a byproduct of what we have going on here. And then efficiency, like how many people are making it to that quote finish line, how many people are getting there, and that's how we track it. And then safety, which is the big topic today. There's a great Instagram post. I'll link it in below on this podcast that looks at which sports are more dangerous than the others, and specifically in relation to injuries. So injuries are kind of hard. How do we judge the dangerousness of injuries? So most of the time, it's the number of injuries per 1,000 hours of exposure to the sport or training. So looking at that, soccer, specifically in matches, is 36 per 1,000 hours. That is professionals playing, to be fair. And then in training, it's only 3.7, which is great, right? But that's the soccer match. Like, you're going hard, you're trying to win, versus you're training with your buddies. You're not going to slide tackle and you might accidentally hurt. Like, obviously, there's some injury. Cricket, I thought, was really interesting. We got a lot of people that play cricket recreationally here, but these are for the elite athletes. Females, cricket players, is 71.9 per 1,000. So lots of injuries in cricket, as well as the men being 48.8 per 1,000. Then we got yoga at 0.6. So yoga is a very safe thing to train. And then running, which everybody runs, right? Like, that's, if I've decided, you know what, New Year's resolution, I'm going to do a couch to 5K. Those things exist. So for marathoners, 59 per 1,000. For novice runners, 33 per 1,000. And then we've got the recreational runners at 17.8 per 1,000. So still relatively high for those recreational runners. I would fall more into that category because I'm not a novice or I'm definitely not a marathon runner. But injury rates are higher there. And then we look at CrossFit, powerlifting, and weightlifting. CrossFit at 4.6, powerlifting at 4.0, and then weightlifting at 3.2. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's not a sport in the same way that soccer is. Okay, yeah, great, but we're working towards things. So CrossFit, powerlifting, weightlifting, and then, of course, yoga are some of the safest training things that are around when we look at injuries per 1,000 hours of exposure. And injuries being things that stop people from being able to participate and train in their thing. So 4.6 per 1,000 is huge. Yeah. Like, that's great.
Yeah. I'll take those odds.
Absolutely. I didn't even include like MMA and boxing. Those are on there too. It was like 400 per 1,000 for boxing in matches, like 1.7 in training, and then MMA was also like a crazy number like that, which makes sense. Like, they're literally fighting, so there's gonna be injury. Like, if there's not an injury, I don't know, that I didn't feel like those were as fair to lump into this. I just kind of fun facts for those.
I mean, combat sports. It's in the name. So.
Jiu-jitsu also wasn't on there. Otherwise, I'd include that just for Rebecca, because I feel like most of your injuries don't happen here at these walls.
Disclaimer, I had that injury in the very beginning days with the ankle. But I mean, now we're looking at 2 decades, and it's really, sometimes pretty dang sore, just because that high volume, low weight stuff.
Yeah.
But the past year, I've had 2 broken toes. Broken toe, a dislocated. I won't even shock y'all with that picture of my dislocated toe. This elbow, I don't know, will ever be the same. My husband has cauliflower ear that he has to drain. And it's just like, I never
not to put jiu-jitsu on blast.
No. But I'm not going to stop. I don't know. It's just
it's fun. You enjoy it. There's definitely benefit from jiu-jitsu. Right. Like, that's what we talk about, that risk versus reward.
Yeah.
If I attacked you right now, you would totally stop me because you've got that training in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
and that's the important part of it.
Also, with that, I'm in a phase right now where I'm enjoying the competition aspect of jiu-jitsu. So at some point, I'm going to go into I'm just attending classes, and I'm just here to get that body awareness and be able to defend myself. And all, I'm just in the competition part, and that's when it was a competition class when I had that weird little gnarly, I mean, no kidding, this toe was pointing away. It was not supposed to be pointed.
Yeah. But all that to be said, CrossFit, we have injuries. We've been injured where we've had to step away from training. But I think that's a cool thing about CrossFit is because we already know how to scale for people that are just getting started, we can adjust the workouts if we have injuries. Yeah. I've had it where my shoulder's just been funny for a couple of weeks, and so I just don't go overhead with stuff. And I talk to the coach and say, hey, like, this workout, here's what I'm thinking about scaling it. This is really important. Don't just go and do your own thing. Talk to the coach, please. I may have something already because I know that you've got something going on for you to adjust that workout, but our coaches are really good. We want to know what you're planning on doing, and we want to keep the stimulus. If it's a pushing movement overhead, but we can't go overhead today, maybe we can do a pushing like push-ups or something like that. We want to try to keep the intent of the workout.
Right.
So don't just go rogue and be like, okay, I'm going to do this. Talk to the coach and say, hey, here's what I was thinking for this workout. They might be like, hey, I didn't think about that. I think that's a really great option.
Right.
Or why don't we try this instead?
Yeah.
But we're able to scale everything. Even if we have injuries, we can find a way to get a good workout, avoid that injury, avoid injuring it more, because movement is good. Movement is medicine. We want to move the things that are hurting if they're sore. Injury is a little different, but movement is good for those aches that we've got going on.
And a disclaimer I have, the claims that we're making right now are what we control within our four walls.
Yes.
We have buddies that are down the road who own a CrossFit affiliate, and you are good to go. You're in good hands there. Most CrossFit affiliates. You do CrossFit in your garage, you don't really have that oversight. So I can't make those claims.
Right.
That you're not without the oversight and not kind of putting yourself more in harm's way than you should. So I'm just making claims about within our four walls and our controlled environment with the oversight of the coaches that are hammering good body mechanics and cueing and fixing as much as they can for those 60 minutes. That's all. That's the really claim that we're making.
That's a big important claim. Yeah. If I went to my garage and did stuff and nobody's watching me, there's a reason I take the classes, right? Like I take classes because we have awesome coaches and they're going to make sure that I'm moving well.
Right.
I feel like I move well, really well, but there are times that I need a coach to be like, hey, you know what? Get your heels down a little bit more. You're catching that clean a little forward in your toes.
100%.
Let's get those hips back and things like that. It's really important to have somebody watching you at times. So in these walls are what we're talking about when it comes to injury and
in these walls, an actual CrossFit affiliate.
Not necessarily our walls, but CrossFit affiliates, specifically CrossFit affiliates. We won't dive too much into that, but if they don't have the affiliate, we cannot guarantee
the oversight.
The functional fitness gyms are different. They don't have that oversight in the same way that we as CrossFit have. So if you want to know more about that, come and talk to us. We love to talk about it personally. We don't want to get out there too crazy on the internet.
So big thing, like modify to your heart's content, guys.
Yes.
Enjoy, have fun more than anything on these workouts. We are pushing you on thresholds because we want to see you make those adaptations and get stronger, faster, all that stuff within reason at a responsible pace.
Yes.
But modify as much as you need to. Be smart about it. Ask your coach. Use your resources.
Yeah, we've talked about it. I'll never stop hitting this nail or beating this dead horse. Scale, modify, adjust.
Leave your ego at the door.
Ego that's injuries in CrossFit happen because of ego.
100%.
Like it is not because the coach didn't do their job. Well, okay, that happens every now and then, but that's not us. It is a rarity. But if the coach has talked about the workout, told you what it's supposed to feel like, given you options for the weights and movements, and you still get hurt, it's an ego thing. We didn't say, oh, I should do that, but I'm going to do this weight instead. There are days that we have to set that ego aside and find that time cap and be like, oops, I should have done something different.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Hopefully you don't get injured those days. But, if we don't listen to the coaches and let them take the weight off or listen to them when they say do lighter weight or do fewer reps or, hey, let's not do pull-ups today because we're not getting it. Don't do butterfly yet. We don't have the strict things. You gotta listen to those coaches. Adjust, scale, modify, push the intensity, and you'll see those adaptations grow. We'll get more
high intensity, not max intensity, all of that.
Yes.
All that.
Yeah. If we're sore every day, we need to get some recovery in. We can talk about recovery and the importance of that. So, yes, CrossFit is not dangerous. We have injuries.
If you fell for the clickbait title, sorry.
Yeah, gotcha. No, it's CrossFit, relatively speaking, is safe.
Yeah.
There is a risk and reward.
Right.
How much you push that risk is on you. And then you might see more reward. You might see a little bit less because we get injured. And so keep that in mind as we choose to do this. And send this to your friends that are like, oh, CrossFit's dangerous. I can never do CrossFit. It's for all those people that are crazy and elite and don't know, I don't know that I can do that. Send them this, have them listen to the whole thing. Visit
our website. They get them in here for a free week as well. So we'll
bring them in. we love to show people that they can do CrossFit. I can't tell you how many people have come through the door that I've talked to and they're like, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to try it out. And then now they're members.
Yeah.
Because they learned that they can scale it, and they learned that there's something to always be chasing, and it is for everyone. Not everyone does it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone can do it, not for everyone. Anyway,
right.
We'll
right.
get that on a shirt, and I'll
yeah.
get it right.
I know. Well, upcoming events, guys. Message if you have any questions about what we brought up today. We love comments. We love the feedback. Upcoming events this coming Saturday. Jim came across this
June 22nd.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this later, just in case.
June 22nd. Jim came a very worthwhile charity.
Yes. Catch a Lift.
Catch a Lift is what it's called. The workout is Coughlin.
The Coughlin Hero
workout. Proceeds for this, if you would like to donate, we can also, I guess, put the notes.
Yeah, I'll throw that link in the notes. It's easy.
Just goes to paying memberships for veterans to be able to do.
I think specifically wounded veterans.
Okay.
And to pay for gym memberships so that they can get physically fit, more fit, stay fit, help with that mental health. Of course, that's we believe in here at the gym. And sometimes this is just our mental space.
I'm not wounded. I'm not a wounded, but you would not like me if I didn't get my workouts in. I could be a very unsufferable person. I don't know.
As long as we're self-aware of that. But so the funds go to that. Jim, he said he has a friend that benefits from Catch a Lift, so this is a very direct for him to support them, and so that's awesome. Very excited to help them out. So if you're in a place financially that you can donate, fantastic. There's a link below in the description on our Facebook group page, our social feed on our app. Lots of places that you can do that. And if not, that's okay. Come and do that workout on Saturday. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I use fun relative here. I don't think it's going to be fun. It'll be a good time together. That's what will be fun.
Yeah.
It's 6 minutes of accumulating a dead hang on a pull-up bar. Each time you drop, you're going to go run like 800 meters and then come in and do some 30 push-ups. So we'll attack that and accumulate that hold. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yep. After that, we have 4th of July is coming up quick. We're going to have 2 workouts that day. We typically will close down the regular schedule for that day, let people enjoy the day with their families, but people like to get their sweat on.
Yeah.
Expect something body weight. We'll see if we can find a hero type workout that'll accommodate for that. But I think 8 a.m. will be the first workout and probably 9 a.m. for the second group. So we'll blast that out. You'll see that in the Sunday email. The Games is coming up in August, so we'll for sure. We huge fan of the 0.1% of the people that do our methodology and just see what they're capable of doing when they do these type of workouts.
Amazing.
So that's going to be...
We'll have it on the TVs. If you're in class, it'll be up there so you can watch and see. We'll be there watching. Watching. I'm going to say that louder so you don't you're going to be... No. We're just going to watch. We're spectators. We are not the 0.01% yet.
Unless I can talk them to do the 5K because I couldn't get anybody to do it last year. After that, we have a handful of us are doing the BCS qualifier. That's going to be in Bryan College Station area. Yes. It's with amazing. Also, is it Mayhem Mission? Is the name of the charity? That's to fight child trafficking. Like I said, we got our roots with first responders and military. So all of that, just kind of, you know. The leaders, tip of the spear, best possible people you want to surround yourself with. That's who we're going to be hanging out with in August for this Mayhem Mission. Froning, I think Angela Chico, I think Lucas Parker came down last year, so we'll see how many.
Josh, their head coach at Mayhem, was running community workout there at the competition, and Rich is competing and walking around, hanging out. It's great.
He's going to have to go through you.
Yeah, in the warm-up area. No, he's in the elite. We're intermediate if we make it. But you get to bump elbows with Rich in the warm-up area. It's like a little intimidating, but he's cool. He's a super nice guy. He's not actually intimidating, but if you've not been around him before, you're like, oh, just because he's
very interactive, though. Really awesome.
Oh yeah. He's so great.
Yeah, great ambassador for us and what we do.
Yeah. And they program the workouts for the qualifier and the competition. So that's we do Mayhem already. So it's just another workout for us. So it's going to be a good time. Good time competing. So if we make it, I think if we make it.
After that, we have October 5th, Barcode is coming up. That's who we host. We have a lot of guests that come in from surrounding gyms. We've have had people come from Corpus and people out of state to do it. So
Yeah.
We've had our initial meetings. We'll start blasting out the registration information very soon. We are going to have early bird pricing. That's going to start, I believe, in July.
July 15th.
July 15th. In August, we'll do the official registration, put out the workouts. So if you're out there, if you're a guy, find a girl. These are male-female teams.
Yeah. Really great if it's your first time doing a competition. We had really great scale, option, intermediate, and RX last year. We'll put those out so that you can see what those workouts were. Because the benefit of signing up, we're doing early bird pricing July 15th through August 15th. The benefit is you're signing up, not knowing what the workouts are, and that's why you get a little bit of a discount. So a decent discount. And then after that, we'll release those workouts around August 15th, have that kind of finalized, and then you've got a couple of months to kind of practice and figure out how to do those workouts.
Yeah.
And, it's really good time. We've had lots of people do their first competition at Barcode. It's very friendly. We take it serious. We're not like letting things slide, but we're not going to be like on you if you're not getting depth on the first. We're going to give a little bit of grace when it comes to that until after 2. We're like, all right, let's. We just want people to enjoy competing, have a good time.
We just want to provide that top-notch experience for a very local conference.
Yes, yeah. So tell your friends. Tell your neighbors, come check it out even if they're not competing or anything like that.
If you're looking to sponsor, if you'd like to set up a booth here, message us, info@grandmesacrossfit.com. Cool. We'll have a booth set up as well for sponsors and vendors to promote your equipment. I know Nocal, I think, will provide
they'll probably
a space.
Help us out.
First aid, Fit
Aid
also.
Have them fight each other.
No. Yeah, so we'll blast that information when we get closer to. And in October 16th, Best Babes, our friends over at Lake Travis, in all-female competition. They believe it's male-female teams, maybe teams of 3. I know there's going to be a preteen division as well. Really great friends. Again, another CrossFit affiliate.
Yes, So they showed up for Barcode last year. They're already told us they have 6 teams ready for us, and go help them out. Have a good time. So
for the ladies, find the ladies.
The ladies, yes. Guys, we just get to go be soccer moms that day. So it'll be fun.
Orange slices.
We'll get y'all covered. Don't worry.
And then the holiday season. So
lots coming up. We'll put this out there, and if there's a topic y'all want us to talk about, or if this piqued your interest, come talk to us, message us. We'd love to talk more about injuries and dangerousness of CrossFit, but we just love talking about CrossFit, so let's talk. And if you want to be on our show, if you want to be a guest, let us know. We can bring a guest on, talk. We're going to start getting some of our members in here, talk about their stories. Because we've had some really cool things happening in the last couple years, and those things need to be told. People need to know what's happening up in these 4 walls. So that's coming soon. Cool. Until then, we'll see you. This is Talk Fit.